Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the books that we have picked for 4th grade history next year, which is going to be Ambleside Year 3.5. So let's open some stuff up. So I've been collecting these books, the packages, for a couple weeks now. My husband gets points from our American Express each month, and you can choose what you do with them, but we often choose to use it for Amazon credit. And so because he's amazing, saved up several months worth of points because he knows that I need books for our homeschool. And I'm struggling with this one. And then he went ahead and ordered them for me. So I sent him a list, and we've done this before. I don't know if I've talked about it last year, but he saved up the points, and then this is like the most securely packed book I've ever seen. So then these things started coming in, and with Ambleside, a lot of the books are out of print, so you have to get them from specialty printers or publishers. So here is our first book, and I'm pretty sure this one was hard to find. This is the Oxford Book of Children's Verse, and as you can see, it is a used book, so it's in pretty good condition. And so this is for the poetry component of Ambleside Online. All right, just put that over there. Next, this one should be easier to open. Okay. All right, and this one was also hard to find. It's called A Little Brother to the Bear by William J. Long. I think this is the same one that does the, what's it called? Sorry, totally lost my train of thought. Geography, I think. Maybe they just have the same last name. Oh, look how cute that is. Kingfisher's Kindergarten. And so I think this is a nature study book. This is so cute. And so with a lot of these old books, this one happens to be printed by Yesterday's Classics. It's really hard to see a sample because they don't have that there. So I really had no idea what was going to be in this book, basically. There is a short description, but it's hard to see. This book, I think this may have also been a CMEC book at some point. I'm not sure, because I remember seeing this title. This is also, I think, Yesterday's Classic, yeah. This is like a history book, and it's talking about, or actually maybe science. Maybe science and history. So this is definitely a book that I would consider using with older kids too, based on what I'm seeing here. It's like living history, some living science. Just seems really like a really cool book. Here's the table of contents. What does it say? Oh yeah, it says so. I guess it's counting as a science book, but I'm really looking forward to that one. And so some of these books are for different terms, but I go ahead and get them all, because if I don't, then I will forget and not have books, if you've been following my Instagram and seeing how that's unfolding. So this book is part of a series, 5 Little Peppers and How They Grew, and I believe this is about Peppers is their last name, and so it's about these 5 children, which is sweet because I have 5 children, and basically about how I think people help them out in their childhood, and so that looks cute. I think this is the litter. Then On the Shores of the Great Sea. This is about civilization surrounding the Mediterranean Sea. From the time of Abraham to the birth of Christ, so possibly religious content, not sure. Of ancient Israelites, Phoenicians, Egyptians, Scythians, Persians, Greeks, and Romans, and talks about Rome and important myths and legends. So that looks interesting. So let's just look through that a little bit. And I mean, this may not be from a Christian worldview. It may just be if you're familiar with the books that say like in the time of Abraham Lincoln, and then it talks about his whole lifetime. I guess after thinking about it for a second, that's probably what it means here in terms of the timeline. And so there's a lot of familiar tales and things in here. So this looks really cool. And then here's the table of contents. And this is also a Yesterday's Classic book. But like I said, it's kind of hard to navigate their website and get an indication of what's in their book. So that's why I'm showing you guys more of a detailed flip through. One of the things I realized after going through these literature-based books this year is that it's just really hard to see and judge a program based on the book list when you can't really find out about the books. So then this is Heroes Every Child Should Know. And this is also Yesterday's Classic. And so they sell through their site directly, but they also sell on Amazon. So you're buying directly from Yesterday's Classics. And I don't know if they print on demand for Amazon. They might. And so if you see like a later shipping period, it's not a Prime situation, that might be why. And so you could probably see there's, we may or may not do this chapter for obvious reasons. But, these books are old, so you really have to be mindful of those things. And of course, I always supplement, so this isn't the only thing that we'll be doing. We'll also be doing the core knowledge, history and geography. And I do find that reading older books, like the language of certain things might be more eloquent, but obviously some of the perspectives that are used may be outdated. And so I do try to address that in our homeschool. This is by Pond and River by Arabella Buckley. This is from the Darling series that we've been doing. Which is different. Oh, you know what? I'm already doing this one. Isn't that funny? By Pond and River. See, it has a different cover. I just confused myself there. So we're actually finishing this one up, so I may have to return this or sell it on eBay. Talks about different animals that live near the pond. I can't believe I didn't catch that. But this is a Darling book. I think it's called the Eyes and No Eyes series. I'm not sure. That's funny. Okay, next. So we'll have to find a sub for that one. Hopefully the CMEC will have something good. Okay, this is the Arabian Nights Entertainments, and this is by Andrew Lang. If you are familiar with the Blue Fairy book series, this is the same author. And so this is one of the stylistic signatures of Lang's books, is it has these full-page prints. And I'm sure this has to do with the way that books were printed back then, before mass production. They probably made the plates and then stamped them. And so while this is for my will-be fourth grader, I'm sure that my daughter, who's going to be in first grade, will also love it. And I am not familiar with this book, so I really can't tell you anything about it. But I'm looking forward to it because it's by Andrew Lang. I'm looking for the table of contents. There we go. Okay, so here are the contents. And it shows you the illustrations. Okay, and again, sorry for my congestion. I'm really struggling with allergies this spring. Okay. Alright, and then this is Bambi, so cute. This is also a used book in good condition. So it looks like it's in pretty good condition, it's just older. Looking forward to that. We'll also be doing the Blossom and Root animal science, so I think that will go good with that. And then I think this is my last box. Okay. So here we have, and as you can see, this is another out of print title, and the person who's printing it, this is what they did for the cover. So that's how you can kind of tell. Sometimes when books go out of print, people will print them on Amazon, and it's a crapshoot what the title is going to look like, and the formatting's interesting as well. And so I think this might be also a living science book. I'm not sure based on what I'm seeing here. I think it's like similar to Madam How and Lady Why, where there's women explaining something. So this, I think, is like from Uncle Robert explaining different things about nature and science. There's that. And then at the back of the North Wind, fantasy centered on a boy named Diamond and his adventures with the North Wind. Diamond travels together with the mysterious Lady North Wind through the nights. And it has different fairy tales and different things. And again, you can see this is like a reprint. Well, obviously it's a reprint, but I think you know what I mean. Somebody put it back into print, and that was the cover design. And there's not even a table of contents. So, but it looks like it's not formatted too weirdly. One time we got the Hendrik van Loon book, and the formatting was like unreadable. Here we have 30 more famous stories retold. We're currently reading the first book, which is 50 famous stories retold. We still have a long way to go. But this is for he will be in 4th grade, so I'm thinking maybe he could read these. I'll have to see. And this is by Classic, what is it called? Living Book Press, which is another independent publisher that does a lot of these older books. So I definitely recommend checking out their website. And then, like yesterday's classics, they also sell directly on Amazon. And so this looks like it's a similar format to the Lang books, where you have the full page prints. And so these, I think, are similar to the Heroes Every Child Should Know type of a thing. Let's see that picture. Okay. That's that one. Did I show you the table of contents? I didn't. Table of contents. Okay. That. And then next, Men of Iron by Howard Pyle. I think I've seen this on a couple of different lists. So this is about, I believe, like a knight, which seems very appealing to reading to boys. So that's why I thought. So I don't know what happened here with the table of contents, but it's completely blank. This is probably, I don't know what's going on here with the table of contents, but okay. And this might be related to the Little Duke. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that story. Next, we have Peeps at Many Lands Burma. So this is similar to the other Peeps at Many Lands. There is, we're currently doing Russia for Russian studies. There's Rome, Greece, Egypt. But it turns out there's actually like many of these, which I didn't know. And so I really thought that was interesting that this was scheduled with Ambleside Online. And so one of the things I read was, obviously this is out of date. This country is no longer called Burma. I believe it's called Malaysia. I may be wrong. I'll have to look into that. Or Myanmar. But I thought that it could be cool if there were parts talking about the culture there. Even though it is outdated, maybe there would be some sort of insight and like a deeper thing that you could learn from reading about one particular country for such a long period of time, versus if you just get a book from the library and read a couple of pages or whatever. There's that. Then Ways of the Woodfolk. This is, I believe, this is a literature selection. This one was really hard to find. There was only like one option on Amazon, and so I'm not sure actually if this is literature or this is nature study. Like, I would think that it's nature study. So here's the contents, and see how that goes. And then the last book I have is the one I'm the most excited about, Stories of Don Quixote by James Baldwin. I think this is similar to, the Odyssey for children or what have you. It's a telling of the story, but it's written in an accessible way for children. So I'm really excited about that. Also, one of my high school students may or may not be reading Don Quixote at the same time. So that's exciting. But this was, also a hard to find title, and this version is by Yesterday's Classics, and so it took a while to ship. But anyway, I'm so excited to start the Ambleside Online 3.5 level next year, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this unboxing and flip through. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.